guys, we're going to be talking about some crazy Infernoid combos that you guys need to know, especially with the release of Battles of Legends Terminal Revenge. Now again guys, I won't just be showing 3 combos, I'll also be going in-depth deck profile at the end of the video guys, so please stay tuned for that as well guys. And before we start the video guys, leave a like on the video, comment what you guys want to see next, check out all my social guys, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, now we are getting on to the first combo slash interaction. Essentially, it's just instant fusion plus any card in hand. Again, if you're an OG fan of my channel, you guys know that I do like to use Fake Trap a lot in my combos. But from here guys, again, instant fusion is such a crazy card in itself. Like, it's not something that you guys are always going to be opening, but the interaction is important for you to know, right? So from here guys, we can go ahead and activate instant fusion by paying the 1000 smackaroos. We will pay 1000 and summon an Infernoid Evil. Now again, it doesn't matter to the zone. Technically, you can put in an extra monster and you guys will see what I mean very shortly. But from here guys, we can go ahead and use Infernoid Evil, where it says if this card is fusion summoned, you can banish 1 Infernoid monster from your graveyard, send Infernoid monsters from your deck with different names up to the level. So it's really good because it doesn't have to well, it's really good because it can mill any number as long as they're different names. So it's really good. And then it also has the other effect where if this card is sent to the graveyard or banished, you can add 1 void spell trap card from your deck to hand. This is really important to know because it says if this card is sent to the graveyard or banished, then say if this fusion summon card, right? So now the gears are turning. We can use Nadir Servant, we can use Gale Dogra, we can use Extra Foolish Burial, we can use whatever. We can send this card to the graveyard, and then this card will trigger to go ahead and add. And again, it also works off of Tiara as well. Tiara can send this card, and then we can go ahead and get Evil. Evil will trigger to add to our hand. So from here, guys, we will continue playing. We can link this card away into Relinquish Anima. Now, that's how I was saying that you can go into Anima or Gravity Controller, depending on what you want to do, but Anima technically comes up more, and I mean, if it was Link Cribble, you'd play Link Cribble, but you know, Konami, they just really know how to hit cards. But from here, this will trigger out Evil. Evil's effect will trigger in the graveyard to go ahead and add us our Void Banishment. This just says discard 1, add 1 Void Spell Trap. That's all you really need to know. Like, the other effects don't really matter, but from here, we can go ahead and activate Void Banishment, use the discard that I said, like it again, doesn't really matter, to get Void Feast. And then here, guys, what we can do is we can go ahead and set our Void Feast and pass our turn. Now, during our opponent's turn, we can activate Void Feast. This card says this: send 1 Void Spell Trap card from your hand or face up, field to the graveyard, to summon up to 3 Inferno monsters from your deck, whose total levels equal 8, ignoring summoning conditions. Really good, and you guys will see why exactly right here. So we can send the Void Banishment. Now this will summon out our Sajet and our 2 Dectrons. It's really important because this card says it has to equal exactly 8. So having Sajet in your deck is really good. So that's why it's kind of like the brick, because that's from deck, it doesn't necessarily say from hand. So again, if you draw this card, it's a little unfortunate, but there are ways that you can like play around it. Like you can summon a 7 and a 1, you know what I mean? So they're still there. But anyways, we summon another Decatron onto field, chain like 1, chain like 2. Now Decatron has the effect where it says if this card is normal or special summon, send 1 Inferno monster from deck to graveyard. This card's name becomes that name, effect becomes that effect, increases level by that level. So it's really good. It's also a tuner, something to note. Like if you want to play I see some of these decks in OCG play Enigmaster Packbit. Some play Stardust Assault Synchron as well. Or not Stardust Assault, but the freaking Stardust Dragon who like reborns a tuner, because then you can trigger Decatron more. So it's really good in that regard. But from here, guys, we will go ahead and use 1 to send Onuku, who is the spell trap negate, and then it is going to be Deviati, who is the monster negate. Deviati's effect is you can banish 3, summon it. You have banish from graveyard to summon it from hand or grave, and then when it's summoned, you Heavy Storm. Onuku, same summoning conditions, but when it's summoned, you Dark Hole. Really, really good, especially having those cards in the graveyard. So essentially what we end on is we end on a monster negate, a spell trap negate, a DD curl, and then if our opponent doesn't out our board, it's a pretty problematic board, honestly. If our opponent doesn't out our board, we have Onuku fodder and we have Deviati fodder as well. So it's really good in that regard, guys. But that's it for the first combo. Like I was saying, I just wanted to showcase like kind of a main interaction where it's like get to Infernoid Evil. Infernoid Evil facilitates a lot of plays because it can get you any sort of spell trap card from your deck. It is really, really important in that regard. And again, like I said before, this deck doesn't really summon from the extra deck too much. Like the only reason I summoned Anima is to get this card in the graveyard. If I didn't need to do it, I can go into Dear Servant and just dead ass dump this card, and then this card will trigger, and now I just end on the same board. Maybe I end with like an Ecclesia with the punishment and a Fleur. So you guys can kind of see like, you know, the direction that this deck can go. But that's it for kind of like the first interaction, I guess you could say, combo. Now let's get on to the second one. All right, guys, now we're getting on to the second combo. Now this is a little cooler because now we can kind of showcase instant fusion and like Infernoid Evil's plays. Like I said before, this isn't like a standard quote-unquote combo, but again, getting to this plus this, you guys will see. So from here, guys, we can go to normal summon Decatron effect. This will go ahead and dump Deviati. Now the reason for that is it says when another monster's effect is activated, should be 1 monster, negate the activation if you do banish it. So it's pretty good in that regard because it's like quote-unquote Nibiru protection. And Decatron has such sick artwork. I don't even know, like he's a police car or whatever, but there's some like Klee lore that I wasn't really paying attention to, but from here we can activate Infusion, pay 1,000, summon out our Infernoid Evil, and then like I said before, guys, Infernoid Evil has the effect on summon where you can banish Deviati, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 monsters with different names, so you guys will see here. So we can go ahead and use this effect, banish Deviati, send 9, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So again, we end up sending the 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so, and 9, right? Whatever, right? I ended up sending 1, but you can send whatever you call it, right? So from here, guys, I end up linking away into Infernoid Evil, and then from here, Infernoid Evil can go ahead and add us our Void Barrier. And again, Void Barrier has the effect where it says if you control no monsters or only fiend monsters. You guys will see what I mean in a little bit, but just ignore Void Barrier for now. It's going to be in our hand, and then we can go ahead and link into our IP Masquerena using our Anima and our Decatron. From here, guys, what we can do is we can go ahead and banish our 2, summon out our Saitamus, and then from here we can banish 2 more and summon out our Atondel. From here, guys, we can go ahead and link our 2 monsters away into our Princess. Use Princess's effect here to go ahead and reborn Decatron. Now Decatron's effect will trigger to go ahead and dump our Deviati to get just like the other name in the graveyard. Then we can go ahead and link into Infernoid Flood. And then here, guys, we can go ahead and use Void Barrier, which is add one of your banished Infernoid monsters. So you can go ahead and add like one of the level 1 like baby guys, add to our hand, and then special summon out. So essentially, what our board ends on, like through this quote unquote combo, is we end on Infernoid Flood, who says when your opponent would special summon a monster, tribute 1 monster, negate the summon, and if you do banish that monster. If a card is banished from your graveyard, banish 1 card on the field. So kind of like Chang Ying, you can banish 1 card on the field. If this link summon card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, says on 1 Infernoid monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Really good, annoying floating. Saitamus, we don't really care about its like other effect because it's not really relevant during our opponent's turn. The main one, it is a DD Crow, so again, that's pretty good in that regard as well. And then on top of that, we do have the Princess in the graveyard who can pop and summon out as well. Like, again, IP doesn't really matter in the graveyard, but we can use Princess to pop, go ahead and summon out as well. And then we have these cards that can float, summon out, and things of that nature. So again, guys, that's it for like the second combo, I would say. Again, like I said before, they're not really combos in this type of deck because of Monster Mash deck. Monster Mash decks don't really necessarily have quote unquote combos. I would say it's more like you open a hand of 5 to 6 cards and you kind of play through that. So that's it for the second combo. Now let's go on to the third combo. All right, guys, now we're getting on to the third and final combo of the deck. Now, like I said previously, the deck doesn't really necessarily have combos per se, but again, if you're playing Snake Eyes or anything, it's gonna have a combo. This is the Snake Eye version of combo. I think it's pretty cool, honestly. My little brother helped me vet some of the plays as well, but I think it's pretty cool. So from here, guys, we can go ahead and, of course, I'm sure you guys know what Snake Eye Ash does. I'm not going to explain it. Ash effect, go ahead and get us our Poplar into our hand. Then here we can use Poplar effect summon, and then Poplar effect to go ahead and add us our original Sinful Spoil Snake Eyes. Then we can activate it, send the Poplar, summon out the Decatron. Now, of course, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. Poplar's effect will trigger in the graveyard, and then Decatron will go ahead and send our Deviati. From here we can use Ash to send itself and Decatron. Now this, in my opinion, is pretty sick, okay? We summon out Oak, and now Oak's effect can trigger in the graveyard, or not on the graveyard, sorry, can trigger on the field to reborn Decatron onto the field. Now Decatron, again, not once return, Decatron will go ahead and send it to send the Atondel here. Again, like, it doesn't really matter because we're banishing these cards, you guys will see, but from here, guys, we can use Oak, send Poplar and itself away into our Flamby, and then here we can use Flamberge, and then here we can go ahead and link these 2 monsters away into our IP Masquerena. I would say it's important to make Masquerena here, in my opinion, and you guys will see why. So from here, Masquerena, this will trigger out our Flamberge, reborn the Decatron plus any of the level 1s. Again, Decatron is not once returned, so now this will trigger Decatron again to send Petrulio. It doesn't really matter because as long as one of these cards is a monster that we can banish to summon itself, and it has to banish 2. So again, Atondel's a good example in that. So you guys will see here. From here, we can go ahead and link our 2 monsters way into our Proxy F Magician. That's why I said it's important, because now we can go ahead and banish 2. So banish 2 names, summon out the Atondel. Now we can use Proxy F Magician, where it says during your main phase, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck. Using monsters from your field as fusion, blah blah, you can special 1 monster. It just basically lets us poly using monsters on the field. We can use this to go ahead and summon out our Infernoid Evil. Now this is really good because now Infernoid Evil can go ahead and banish, so we can banish the Atondel. So now we can get 8 names, and this time you guys will see the 8 names. From here, guys, we can go ahead and use it. So we get the 1 name, 2 name, 3 name, 4 name, 5 name, 6 name, 7 name, and the 8th name. So now we can send 8 names from our deck to the graveyard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we can send all of these cards to the graveyard. So now we have like infinite fodder to do all sorts of nasty plays. From here, guys, what we can do is we can go to banish 2 to summon our Sajet, and then we can link these 2 monsters away into our Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames. Now, you can technically do like a different play where if you like banish the Saitama's instead from the graveyard, and the reason for that is because then we only mill 7, so you can keep the Sajet in the deck, and you guys will see why you want to keep it in the graveyard. But from here we can use Princess, get Flamberge effect, go ahead and put IP Masquerena into the scale. From here we can link these two monsters away into our Infernoid Flood, so now this is our quote-unquote boss monster. And then here, guys, we can go ahead and use Infernoid Evil when it's sent to the graveyard to go ahead and add. So again, depending on kind of what your hand is, you can kind of choose to sculpt it. If you want to do it later on in the play, we can use Void Barrier. Void Barrier does have the restriction, however, if you control no monsters or only fiends. So just remember, like, if you have Flamberge, you can't use it, so it's better to go for the other cards. But again, Void Banishment, we need the discard. All this was done through one Decatron, which is pretty funny. So like we could still use Decatrons. It's just like I said before, because you went through our one Sajet. If you play 2 Sajet, that's good. If not, you want to banish the Saitamas from your graveyard instead. So you keep the Sajet, and then your Void Feast is live. Usually you're gonna be adding Void Banishment. You just need a discard. Again, like I said before, I don't have the discard in this combo, but you guys can kind of see the plays, like especially if you just keep the Sajet in graveyard. Now on top of having Flamberge, IP, a negate, you also have other things, follow plays, things of that nature. Like, it adds a nice little juice to the engine. The only thing is like Snake Eye just only so broken. But that's it for my 3 combos, guys. Now let's quickly get into the deck profile. All right, guys, now we are quickly jumping into the deck profile. Now again, guys, like I said before, this is just like my skeleton of the deck. If you guys have any changes, please comment down below, guys. I try my best to respond to each and every single one of you guys' comments. I want your opinions so I can change the deck, so I can showcase how good the deck is. And if there's pretty cool combos, just let me know as well, guys. But again, we will be playing, of course, the Snake Eye engine. So again, we will be playing triple Diabellstar of the Black Witch. Now again, as long as she's at 3, you're going to want to play it, especially because it helps facilitate your Snake Eye cards. And then for the Infernoids, guys, we are going to be playing the one Antra, who I believe this is the bounce one. So once turn, target 1 physical card your opponent controls. Turn to your hand. Once per turn, you contribute 1, target 1, right? So Antra is really good. Again, you want to play at least, I would say, 9 names in my opinion, just so you have the extra name just to mill off of evil. But again, if you can't play the 9, then you can play the 8, but in my opinion, at least play 9. Like, some of them suck, but at least play 9, right? But this card's pretty good because it says it can only be summoned from hand. Just know that I think the level 4 and lowers can only be summoned from hand, so it's important to know. But again, then we play the one Atondel, really good card, lets you attack twice during the battle phase. Then we have the triple Decatron, so again, on summon, mill, become. We have Deviati, who is, I believe, the monster negate. Yeah, Deviati is a monster negate, on summon, heavy storm, really good. We have Harmadic, I believe, is the monster popper. Yeah, it's a monster popper and the DD Crow. We have Unuku, who is the dark hole and the spell and trap negate. Patrulia, who is spell and trap pop. It's really good. We have the Permace, who's like a night beam. Target 1 set card on the field. Your opponent can activate whatever. Then we have Saitama's, who's really good. Saitama's has the effect which says if it battled, you can go ahead and banish 1 card on the field, and then during the either player's turn quick effect, you contribute. So that's also really good. It's kind of like the unicorn where you can like rip 1 from the extra deck. And then it also has the other factor where it can DD Crow. So that's pretty much it for like the, I would say, the Inferno cards. Then again, we play the triple Ash, the one Oak, the one Flamberge, and the double Poplar, because like Poplar itself is also a combo. Then we play the triple Bonfire because you want to add the Poplar. It's pretty crazy. Like, you play Snake Eye, you have to play Bonfire. Then we play the bomb cards. We play the one Infusion. We play the one Monster Negate. Favorite monster FA cards from top of your deck. So you activate a monster that can be normal summoned or set. One thing to note, guys, cannot be normal summoned or set. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Cannot be normal summoned or set. You see what I mean? Like, all these cards can't be normal summoned or set, right? So the odds of you getting Decatron, or getting your Diabellstar, or getting your Ash, or getting like your Poplar are really good. Again, if you hit Oak and Flamberge, it kind of sucks, but I mean, to each their own. And that's also why I don't play hand traps in this deck, because specifically you don't want to hit hand traps. We play the 1-for-1 because again, it's full combo, and we have a crap ton of monsters that we can send. We have the one Snake Eye to send. We have Reasoning. Your opponent declares a level from 1 to 2. Activate cards from top of the deck. Well, what's happening there? Activate cards from top of your deck until you activate a monster that can be normal summoned or set. Then if the monster is the same level as the one declared by opponent, send all activated cards to the graveyard. If not, special monster, right? So, you know what I mean? It's pretty self-explanatory. We play triple talents. We play the one Void Barrier. We play triple Void Blaze Up. This card's really good. Reveal 1 Infernoid monster or 1 Void Spell trap card. Discard your entire hand. Then draw the same number of cards you discarded. If you control no monsters or only fiend monsters, you banish card from your graveyard. Target up to 11 of your banished for different names. Return them to your graveyard. You can only use this effect once per duel. This is not once per turn. Reveal 1 Infernoid from your monster from your hand. Draw the same number of cards you discarded. Discard your entire hand. It's crazy, right? It's literally card destruction on crack. So it's really good in that regard. Get all these cards in graveyard, facilitate your plays. Then we play the double Void Imagination because you always want to have one in deck at least, like if you're milling. Then we have the double Void Vanishment as well. And then we have the, of course, triple Wanted with the one Void Feast. In that regard, again, you guys can play like a Lightsworn Infernoid deck instead if you think Snake Eye is going to get hit. just in my personal opinion, I feel like just being able to abuse this deck as is right now is just like crazy, and it's a breath of fresh air, right? Like you know what I mean. But anyways, then we're playing the double Infernoid Evil. Of course, very self-explanatory. It's really important to play two, honestly, guys, trust me. Then we play the one access code, the one Amblewell. This card's a flex spot. I didn't really know what else to put. Of course, we play the Zealantis and the Raging Phoenix because you're playing Promethean Princess, and like, why would I not? Appaloosa, again, another flex spot, but it's pretty easy to make in this deck, surprisingly. Rage Phoenix, and we play the Hida because we're all fires. IP for the combo. Infernoid Flood because it's like the quote-unquote boss monster. Nightmare Phoenix because it's generic fiend fire monster we can go into, I guess. The one Princess, like I said, 4. Proxy F Magician, very important for the combo. Very, very important in the combo. Celine, again, another flex spot, like I said before, but I think it's like pretty nice in that regard. Like Black Witch is really good. And then the one Anima. You can't play Gravity Controller. Again, like I said before, guys, you can play Thrust as well, depending, because Thrust is really good. If you were to play this deck, you probably don't play hand traps because you want to be able to hit off your monster gate reasoning. Although there are one-ofs, like playing like a blind second deck, maybe more Pot of Prosperity, things of that nature, might really help the deck out. But like I said before, guys, my name's Hamza. Like I always say, keep on shining, never on your dreams. Peace.